Good morning and praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome back to another Good Morning Grief Devotion. It's your boy, Pastor Corey Allen Duncan Sr. I'm grateful and thankful for this day, this time, and this opportunity to come to you to help you to navigate through your grief. This is the daily grief devotion that is strategically designed to help you to navigate through your grief one day at a time. What is grief? And I'm so glad you asked the question. Grief, my brothers and sisters, it is a natural, normal, necessary response to loss, change, and transition that results in the expressions of feelings and emotions. Grief is what you feel on the inside. Mourning is how you reveal it on the outside. Therefore, we don't suppress it, but we express it. We don't ignore it, but we explore it. We don't conceal it, but we reveal it. We don't lock it up, but we let it out. This is why we shout good morning, because morning is indeed a good thing. I am so very grateful and thankful for you joining us, investing in yourself as you grieve and mourn and navigate through the loss, change, and transition that you have experienced in your life. So, good morning and welcome. Every week we start a new series. This week, the series has been The New You, discovering the person God is forming through grief. You are not the same. You won't be the same after you experience grief. There is another you inside of you that's emerging, that's coming forth out of the experience of the loss, the change, and the transition that you have gone through. And this is just kind of helped to design to give you some insight and some clarity into the new you. Today is day 211. This message is straight from heaven. We're talking about your scars still tell a story. That as you emerge or as you navigate through grief and mourning, part of this new you is understanding that your scars still tell the story. Let's talk about it. Then he said to Thomas, put your finger here. See my hands? Reach out your hand and put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe. One of the most remarkable things about Jesus after his resurrection is what he still carried. Jesus still carried his scars. When Jesus rose from the grave, he could have removed every mark left by the cross. Instead, he chose to keep them. Now, y'all know if y'all had the power of Jesus, you could remove the marks, the imperfections, well, the marks still left by the grave, the nails in his hands and his feet, and all of the whippings, all of that stuff. Y'all know if y'all would have cleared that thing up. With all of the today's in social media, we won't post a picture without putting a filter on the picture to blot out our blemishes and imperfections, right? Jesus didn't blot out his blemishes, or I don't want to say his imperfections, but his scar. He didn't remove them. After resurrection, front and center. Here it is. He chose to keep them, not because he was still wounded, but because the scars told the story of what he overcame. These scars, those scars told the story of what Jesus Christ overcame. Scars tell stories. Look at your body, right? You could point to a scar on your body and you could tell the story of what happened. You could tell the story. You remember the day, you remember the event, the time, the moment. You remember what happened, whether it was an accident or some type of incident. You remember whether it was falling off your bike, getting into a car crash, falling down the steps, whatever the case may be. You can tell. That scar tells a story. Why is that important? Same can be true for us. Grief leaves scars. Going through this process of grief, it's left a scar. Some are visible, most are not. That there are certain dates you'll never forget, certain songs that still stir emotion, certain memories that still bring tears. Those scars remind you that you loved deeply. There are scars that you are carrying from what has happened, what has taken place. Those scars remind you that you love deeply, that also remind you that God has carried you faithfully. Those scars that you have that stem from the grief that you've gone through, it reminds you that you love deeply and God has carried you faithfully. A scar is different from an open wound. A wound is still bleeding. A scar is evidence that healing has taken place. Doesn't mean you never feel pain again. It simply means the pain no longer has the final word. Sometimes we're tempted to hide our scars because we're afraid people will see our weakness. But God often uses our scars to become someone else's source of hope. In my grief model of going upward, inward, outward, and forward, this is the part of going forward. And um, while you can take time, well, in every day you're like going forward a little bit, but there is a place in your grief journey that I believe you got to reach, that after you go upward, after you go inward, after you go outward, right? That there you reach a point in your journey. Let me say that. And everybody may not be there. You reach a point in your journey where you really start to go forward in doing um and giving hope to others, right? Hope and help to other people. There comes a point in your journey to where what once was a wound is now a scar, right? And not saying that you won't still feel pain, this, that, and the other, but you're not bleeding so profusely to the point to where you wounded. No, I've gone through the process. There's some healing that has taken place. I have this scar. Now this scar tells a story that can bring hope and help to other individuals, right? You may not be there yet on your journey, and that's all right. But just know that I tell you, God doesn't waste wounds. God, He doesn't He won't allow you to have the scar and not at the same time be able to to bear it and help other people to navigate through it. On here, and I love it. You know, there are people who have helped other people. There are people say, "Hey, you lost a child. I lost a child. Let's talk. You lost a parent. I lost a parent. Let's talk." That was one of the favorite parts of my grief group, the breakouts, right? The breakouts in the loss category. So people that lost spouses, they all got together. People that lost parents, they got together. People that lost children, they got together. They had an opportunity to talk, right? Because they all share the same commonality, right? And there are those who may have been wounded, bleeding still, those who may have had scars, right? And they're the ones who can pour and talk and share and help. And that's going to be you someday. If you're not there now, one day you will be. Because I'm telling you, if you're a mother that lost a child, you're going to encounter down the line, right? There's some mother right now loving her children, holding her children, all that type of stuff. And unfortunately, just because life is life, there's some mother that is going to lose a child, and God may utilize you and the scar you have to help, right? In whatever way that is. If you're somebody that lost a parent, there's somebody who's enjoying the presence of their parent right now. But in the future, right? 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, 1 year, right? 6 months from now, they may not be here. God will utilize you and what you've been through and the scar that has healed to help somebody else, right? That you're going to be in a position because your scar tells a story to be a benefit to somebody else who's going through what you've been through, right? Sometimes we're tempted to hide our scars because we're afraid people will see our weakness, but God often uses our scars because someone else's source of hope. Your story may encourage the person who believes they'll never survive their own loss. Your faith may strengthen someone whose faith is barely hanging on. Your testimony may become the evidence that God still heals broken hearts. Don't be ashamed of what you've been through. You don't have to pretend your life has been perfect. God isn't looking for perfect people. He's looking for willing people whose lives testify to his grace. You ain't got to be perfect, just be willing. Be willing to let somebody know that your life is a testimony of God's grace. The new you doesn't deny the scars. The new you recognizes that every scar is a reminder that God brought you through something you thought would break you. Your scars are no longer symbols of defeat, they are evidence of God's sustaining grace. Some of you may have wounds, right? Some of you may have scars. Know the difference, know where you are, but just know that one day your scar may be instrumental in helping somebody else navigate through the grief that they're going through. Here's your point of application. Instead of hiding your scars, thank God for what they represent. Ask Him to use your story to encourage someone who is walking through a similar valley, remembering that your greatest ministry may grow out of your deepest pain. Today, my brothers and sisters, is day 211. I told y'all this message is straight from heaven. Your scars still tell a story. Yes, they do. Yes, they did. Yes, they continually will, right? Scars tell a story, such a different reframing. Thank you, Carly DW, and welcome. Is this your first time on the grief devotion? Or are you one of them silent ones that just be there and silent? We'll never forget internal scars, mental, emotional scars. The love was deep and real. Yes, 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 and yes. Purpose in our pain is a blessing to help encourage someone going through the same thing. Community matters. That's that going outward. It matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. It matters. And I believe it's our duty. It's our responsibility, right? As part of the community, it's our duty and responsibility to be like, yeah, right. I got you, girl. I got you, man. Let's go. It's so very important. Thank you, Mr. Loris Ryan. Hope y'all been blessed today. Hey, we're going to continue to navigate through this thing one day at a time. I appreciate y'all. Love y'all with the love of the Lord. I'm going to see y'all tomorrow, same time, same place for another Good Morning Grief Devotion. Good morning.